Great companies begin with great leaders. Leaders with vision, curiosity, integrity. Leaders who set an example through hard work and determination. Leaders whose optimism and discipline inspire us to excellence. Please welcome your co-founder and Chief Executive Officer, Jere Thompson Jr.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Happy New Year. And to all you people up in Hartford, welcome. We're glad you're a part of this great day. Thanks for joining us. You know, it's great to see you and be with you once again, and we hope you had a wonderful holiday season. And I want to thank you again for all that you did throughout 2016 to help Ambit and so many others. It was another remarkable year. So are you ready for 2017? Well, so are we, and it's going to be an exciting year. It's, you know, as we come into Simulcast, it's always hard for me to add to the lessons that you will hear today from our incredible lineup of speakers. They have found what works through countless meetings and presentations. So take good notes and apply what you learn when you return home, and your business should benefit and grow from what they said. What I can add are the 7 tips that I have suggested in previous Simulcasts that have worked at Ambit and have helped us to attract and retain great people and to succeed. And they might contribute to your own success as well. I hope they do. First, never give up. The difference between winning and losing is quitting. No one achieves success without enduring setbacks and disappointments and failures. And the road is always winding, bumpy, and full of ups and downs. So brace yourselves for it. And every time you fall, get up, dust yourself off, and take another step forward. Build your grit, that passion and perseverance for long-term goals. Live life like a marathon, not a sprint. Lasting success doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take time, so pace yourself and stay focused on why you want to succeed. Ronnie Kirkland used to talk about the power of the made-up mind, and he was right. Determination, grit, and stamina are your secret weapons. Stay optimistic. It's the best way to build your grit. Optimistic that failure is not permanent. Optimistic that setbacks are opportunities to grow and learn. And optimistic that you can change yourself through effort. Smile when you speak. Our minds are hardwired to react favorably to a smile. Smiling can be contagious. Think about the times you met someone who spoke a different language. You couldn't communicate except for the twinkle in your eye, pointing, and the smile on your face, and it worked. People want to be around enthusiastic and positive people. And you may be surprised how good it makes you feel and how nicely others will react to you. Avoid complacency. Nothing ever stays the same. In all aspects of business and life, you are either moving forward or slipping backwards. Consciously choose to move forward. Don't exaggerate. Please don't exaggerate. It's quicksand. And once you sink into it, it's really difficult to get out of. And you cannot build your business on quicksand. Build your business on rock. Build it on truth. And finally, keep your standards high. Be the finest and most respected. Never sacrifice integrity for growth. And teach others to do it the right way. These tips may seem basic, but that's what success has been built on for us at Ambit. After 11 great years, they are a part of our corporate DNA. Not everyone starts from the same place at the beginning of each year, and we all understand that. To those of you who are coming off a rough personal year or two, hang in there. We know how hard it is to be hopeful and upbeat when you have been disappointed so many times. Our mental defense mechanism is to stop hoping so we don't risk being let down again. Sometimes we cope by forging ahead mechanically day after day. Other times we fill our lives with busyness and stuff, things that aren't necessarily priorities. Life is too short for that. To quote that country western singer, songwriter, and philosopher Kenny Chesney, don't blink, Trust me, friends, 100 years goes faster than you think. Best start putting first things first. Don't blink. You know, it sounds so simple, putting first things first, but it's not, especially when life comes at you like a tornado or a steamroller. But you're here today, and that shows you have grit and a certain optimism for a better tomorrow. If you're having a tough time figuring out exactly what ought to be your first things, my recommendation is to go to a quiet place. Sit down or get on your knees. Close your eyes and listen. You're never too old and never too successful and never too lost to pray. Trust me. Trust me, you always have a friend up there. And make 2017 the year you really start putting first things first. Now, I think everybody out there knows I'm an optimist by nature, but I don't think I'm a blind optimist. I just always think things will work out and happen for a reason. If you listen to any 24-hour news channel, it's easy to think the whole world is falling apart. And I recently read, the rhetoric of decline is wrong because it portrays a past that wasn't, a present that isn't, and a future that probably won't be. And I'm convinced that our best days are still to come, and I'm puzzled that however much things improve from the way they were before, people still cling to the belief that the future will be nothing but disastrous. Now, we all go through, I agree, it won't be. We all go through personal setbacks, but how is it that when we see nothing but centuries of improvement behind us, why we should expect nothing but decline ahead of us? It doesn't make any sense. Matt Ridley took this theme a step further in his wonderful book, The Rational Optimist. He studied how prosperity evolved throughout history, and he contends that when man began to exchange things with each other, then communities began to form and human economic progress began. By exchanging things, human beings quickly discovered the division of labor. It's an economics term. They discovered that one person's unique talents, coupled with their neighbor's unique talents, enabled both to gain and prosper. Some were better at fishing, others at hunting, baking, or making clothes. They found they were better off working together, doing what they were best at, and trading than remaining self-sufficient and working alone. Prosperity evolved from exchange. And we have found proof that it began longer ago than thought. In 1991, during an exceptionally warm summer, hikers high up in the Alps discovered a body partially exposed in melted snow. They noticed something very unusual about what it was wearing. Authorities were called, and it turned out that this mummified Iceman they had found was 5,300 years old. He had been encased in ice since 3,300 BC. Incredibly, he was carrying almost as much equipment on him as the hikers who found him. He had tools made of bone, flint, copper, and 6 different kinds of wood: ash, lime, dogwood, yew, birch, and another one in there. His clothes were made of woven grass, free bark, sinew, and 4 kinds of leather: bearskin, deer hide, goat hide, and calfskin. He carried 2 species of fungus, one as a medicine and another as part of a tinder kit with pyrite to make fire. This is 3,300 BC. Everything on him represented the accumulated knowledge of the time, knowledge of how to fashion tools and clothes and from what materials to make them. 5,300 years ago, Otzi, as he was named, was the modern man wearing the modern clothes and carrying the modern tools, almost all of which he had exchanged something to acquire. He didn't invent or discover how to create or fashion what he was carrying. He was the lucky beneficiary of the knowledge of thousands of others. Otzi lived at the dawn of the Copper Age. His brand new copper axe was 99.7% pure. He had been smelted in a furnace that someone had built. And that person who built the furnace and smelt the copper was able to trade the copper product, which was his unique skill, to someone else skilled at gathering food or weaving clothing. Exchange has made the world richer, healthier, and even kinder. Yes, kinder. Societies that use markets extensively develop a culture of cooperation, fairness, and respect for the individual. We see this every day at Ambit. Having to deal with strangers teaches us to be polite to them. We are a kinder company. with kinder people as a result. The person sitting next to you is much kinder than the average person you might sit next to somewhere else. So be nice to each other out there. Today, we take for granted prosperity that was unimaginable a few years or decades ago. It's a prosperity that continues to grow because of exchange and innovation. Virtually every American now has electricity, running water, toilets, a refrigerator, televisions, or telephones. Almost 80% of those classified as poor have a car and air conditioning. Life expectancy continues to march upwards. Rivers, lakes, the seas, and the air are all getting cleaner all the time. Pollution from cars is down 75% in the last 25 years. People are healthier. We spend a longer time living and a shorter time dying. Cancer, heart disease, and respiratory disease, while they all increase with age, they do so later and later because of advances in medicine. Nutrition is up, and the cost of food, clothing, fuel, and shelter continues to fall here and around the world. Never before our generation has the average person been able to afford having someone else prepare his meals. Think about that. Let's look at something closer to home for all of us. The cost of electricity measured in how long you would have to work to earn 1 hour of reading light. In the 1800s, it took 6 hours of work to purchase a tallow candle. Kerosene brought the work required down to 15 minutes in the 1880s. Thomas Edison and the electricity brought the cost down dramatically to 8 seconds of work by 1950. Today, 1 hour of a light bulb burning will cost less than 1/2 second of your working time. We've progressed from 6 hours to 1/2 second. And consider the advantages of new technology today enabled by the cost of electricity. The internet, Apple, Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Google, Starbucks, you name it, all of which save us time and money. The economic progress from exchange isn't going away. And that's why I'm so optimistic, and optimistic because we live here in America. An America that lets us make more free choices about our lives than ever before. Our country is not perfect, and we Americans are quick to point out our imperfections. But with good hearts and intentions, we've always tried and will always continue to try to solve these issues. And in spite of our imperfections, we continue to live through a steady march of general prosperity that gives us more goods and more time to consider and invest in new opportunities. Opportunities like Ambit, which brings me back to our old friend Shakespeare. There's a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of life is bound in shallows and misery. And this was Shakespeare's eloquent way of saying there's a window of opportunity in the affairs of men, which taken at that flood, at that pivotal fleeting moment, leads on to fortune. Omitted, well, a woulda, coulda, shoulda, great opportunity is lost, possibly forever. I told you at Ambition that to date our greatest flood moment was starting Ambit. And another great flood moment is just over the horizon. And you're going to find out about that today. How lucky we are to be alive right now. So stay optimistic because the best is yet to come. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.